Oh, me? Hi, everyone. This is Raybon Unfiltered, and I hope you guys are ready for a wonderful show. I have Ugly Money Nietzsche here today, and this will be our episode number 7, lucky number 7, with the lucky man here. I feel like he is blessed, and he is here to confess everything that he has worked hard for to get to where he needs to be. Because there ain't no laziness going on. I've never seen him. I don't know. Do you even rest? That's probably going to be my first question. But
it's a delicate process for sure.
But I'm happy and I'm blessed to have him on the show today. He decided to join me, so we're going to go ahead and get on into it. Now, Mr. Ugly Money Nietzsche, I first want to again thank you so much for coming on. Secondly, from what I looked in your profile, like as if I just didn't know you. Just looking at your profile, I've watched you grown from so many different platforms and so many different areas where you were an artist, where you have served in the military. It seems like, just looking on the outside, and you're a great father and you're building a legacy for everyone that's on your team and for everyone that is under you and your family and things like that. And that's something that I'd love to see in what they call a so-called black man. But, I brought you on today just so you can tell about your story, your life, unfiltered, and just give us some more of you. Because we see the Ugly Money podcast, we see the Trigger Alert, we see all of that work that you're putting out. But I want to know a little bit more about you, because I know there's more to that. There's the man behind all of this hard work. So if you can just give me an introduction and tell the world, for those who don't know you, who you are, and we're here to listen.
Well, my name's Ugly Money Nietzsche. I've had a lot of different names, and I am a black man that didn't quit, embodied. That's pretty much it. I think the most genius thing I did in my life was just never stop. I didn't have all the answers. I didn't have all the talent, the connections, or the money. But what I had was an undying will to work and win, and a work ethic that always, saw me through to the next level. And so I'm an Army brat. I grew up Army brat, so I was always the new kid at school. So I had to learn how to make friends very fast in whatever city that my dad got stationed in next. And I think that's something that I took with me into adulthood, seeing the fact that I eventually went into the military and moved around. And I just remember going to different cities and making an impact there whatever I would touch down to. And just learned that I had, a certain law of attraction where people would gravitate to me, and I kind of, knew what to do with it. When I moved to Augusta, Georgia, it was, I just got stationed. Well, I just left Colorado, Fort Carson, Colorado, and Colorado Springs. We had a movement there as a young brother, moved to Augusta, Georgia, got out the military and decided to stay. Ended up doing radio and one of the biggest club promoters and club owners out there. And, always did music and messed around and got a record deal. In like 2014, I signed with 8Ball and MJG's Push Management, shouts out to Bruno. And so then the next step of my life, my next phase of my life was Atlanta. So I moved to Atlanta in 2015 as a, starving artist named P. Nice. And just trying to figure it out. And this next process and this next phase of my life, is the Ugly Money phase. I think I changed my name around 2018, 2019, because it was time for a rebrand. It was time to, focus on different avenues. I think me as an artist, I think artists in general have to be somewhat of a selfish mindset where they have to promote themselves, above all else. And it's, me, check me out, listen to me, share me, da-da-da. And I think Ugly Money kind of embodied a life of service where I was, how can I be of service? How can I be of help? How can I be of value to whatever room that I stepped in? And when I took that mindset and I took that moniker, I made more money in a year than I ever made in my whole entire life. And it was just, affirmation to know that this was the right step and the things that I was doing was going in the right direction.
That to me is beautiful, and I might have to stamp that and put it on a post-it. How can I be successful? Be a service to others. And this is something that I've actually taught to other people that, especially artists. Oh my gosh, artists. Anyway, I told other people, I said, once you realize how you can be of assistance to other people, you can turn that passion for your need and want to help other people into a paycheck. And people don't understand. And one thing I did peep out on your Ugly Money podcast, you said it a couple of times. I'm not here to bash women. I'm here to help and educate, because unfortunately, the percentage of what you are putting out there versus the percentage of what is out there, it's a sea of what? Bull crap. It's a ocean of just disgusting ridicule and just people just putting down men and women just not taking care of themselves, and even women putting down other women. I go through that a lot on my end. But as a successful young man that you are now, because I still feel like you're young, we're not at the other side of the ropes. We're on this side still. As a successful young man, what would you tell the younger you, like 10 years, just even 10 years ago? Let's just go back 10 years. What would you tell yourself 10 years ago that you know now that will help catapult your success a little faster?
I would tell myself that you're not crazy to have these dreams. You're not crazy to have these goals, and to double down on yourself, to double down on you. Don't be scared to bet on you. Don't be scared to bet it all on black. You never lose when you bet on yourself. Even if you think that you may not have gotten to the place that you wanted to go, but you learned a lesson, and a life lesson that you can later monetize, that you can later, give advice to others. So you never lose when you bet on yourself. So if I had a chance and opportunity to talk to myself in 2014, or 2015, I would tell myself, don't second guess you and bet it all on you. Because you'll never lose. There's no way that you can lose when you bet and invest in yourself. Yeah, I think I would have told myself that, because I kind of always have the same mindset. But of course, just like anybody else, I've had doubts. So I've had doubts and doubters. I've had, situations where I felt like, and maybe this is not the right thing. Maybe it's not going in the right direction. Well, I'll start to slow up and things of that nature. And yeah, we'll never bet on you.
Always bet on black, if not bet on you at all times. You guys hear that? Bet on yourselves. Invest in yourselves. Take time on doing things to cultivate something to be a service of others. Now, I'm going to pull back for a little bit and bring it back to the military. For one, yes, military brat. I am one too. I'm not the only one. So I knew you served. I didn't know you were a military brat. I'm the one in the family where I'm the wildflower. Everyone else served around me. And then there's me. And it's like, oh, you're going to be an entrepreneur? What's wrong with you? That's stupid. But anyway, I'm glad that I chose that, because I'm so happy versus working for someone. I'm working for people and trying to build up a business off of that. Now, with you and your military experience, we had a conversation last night at your podcast, which I enjoyed and I love going to live. You guys should check it out. He has his podcast and he'll plug that in later in the times that he records in the days. But you guys should go. It's a great experience. When I was there, you said something I did not know about you. And I've known you for years. You told me the reason why you went into the military. And this, to me, is a key point that I feel like women need to hear, and other young men that may deal with this or have dealt with this. The reason of why men do certain things, and the choices and the sacrifices they make. So can you please explain that so that everyone on this platform can hear the reason why you joined the military?
I was a young man with dreams. I was in college. I was on scholarship as a music performance major. And, kid came. And when a kid came, responsibilities came. And with responsibilities, as a man, it was time for me to step up. And so, I took it upon myself to join the military to provide for my child. It may not have been at the time, did I want to? Probably not. Time, did I feel it was needed? Most definitely. Because I always had big dreams, and then I had responsibility. And so I'm like, well, I want to be a rapper, but I don't have enough money to print up CDs, so I need a job, right? And also now responsibility is coming into play where I have a child and this daughter that loves me unconditionally, and I have to make sure that, she's provided for adequately. And so that means that daddy's got to get up off his butt and go make something happen, make some shape for the family. And so, those are things that men do all the time. A lot of times we walk out that door, we're not just walking out that door to make money for ourselves, we're making money for families, whether we have a wife, children, siblings, and things of that nature. So a man that's provided not only provides for himself, he provides for others. So there's a lot of responsibility that's on that man's back, that's on that man's mind, and it's on that man's heart. And a lot of times, if you see people, a lot of individuals that are hard charging and extremely hardworking, it's because a lot of the times they have people that are depending on them. I know to date, right now, every day that I wake up, there's at least 30 people that are depending on me waking up, being ugly, money, Nietzsche, to help their lives, whether it's provisions, whether it's an opportunity, whether, it's part-time job, full-time job, from the artists to my employees, staff members, my family, children, my father. There's at least 30 people depending on me to get up today and be ugly money Nietzsche. And with that level of responsibility and yet that level of trust, I can't let them down, let alone myself. And I think that's the extra battery in my back, because now the work, the grind, the ups and downs, it has purpose because it's going to someone that I love.
That is beautiful. And you guys, for me to hear that, how hard it is for a man to step out into the world, let alone being a, again, so-called Black man or African American man, into this world where you have to deal with ridicule, you have to deal with maybe getting shotgunned down, hate from our own kind, because that's another thing that we deal with in our community, is a lot of hate from our own kind. And then with you out here trying to say, you know what, I'm a young man, I have a daughter now, let me go ahead and put my life on the line. As a military brat, and I think you can concur with me on this, we watched our family members go through so much in the military, where when I was brought up like, hey, you should go into the military, I'm like, your back is in pain, you're going through PTSD. Why would I want to put myself through that and have my children watch me go through that? So for you to say, hey, I'm willing to risk it all to make sure that I provide for my family, provide for my child, have a stepping stone to move forward, I'm going to go ahead and do that. So 100 kudos to you on that. And I'm not a man. I don't know how it would be. I look at you guys so much, and I admire men. I love men because it's like, you guys go through so much. You guys do not give the credit that you guys deserve at all. For as long as I've known you, and this is no cap, so anyone want to jump in the comments or say anything crazy, I've always seen you working so hard.
The military, actually. The military taught me leadership. The military taught me about team building. The military taught me, that if you want to go fast, you go by yourself, but if you want to go far, you go with a team. So anytime that I start any kind of campaign, any kind of business and things of that nature, I very strategically pick out my team members, because I know that the person to the right of me and the person to the left of me, it's going to be partly responsible for how far and how long we stay at it. And so I always try to pick good people and good-minded people, because at the end of the day, I can teach. I can teach a good person how to hold a camera. What I can't teach is a talented cameraman how to be a good person. Can't. That's something that had to be in him. So I've always taken integrity and who the person is over the exact talent, because I'm going to get farther with a good person. A good person's going to work hard. A good person's going to, really, really want to see this thing grow, versus the person that may have years of experience and extremely talented in this area, but they're just there for the paycheck. And when the paycheck's gone, they're gone. And so I always look for people that want to see this brand or this business or this company move forward, like-minded individuals. So I look at that and I say, okay, well, like for instance, my co-host Biz, who has never been a podcaster ever in his life. He never was a radio host. He never had any background in media. He was a rapper. And when I did see that he was consistent, and I seen that he had a drive that was similar to mine of wanting to do something meaningful. And so I was like, well, you a good dude. Let me put this mic in your hand and teach you cribs. Hence, we became podcasters, you know what I'm saying? And you can always teach a good person how to do something. You can't teach somebody that knows how to do something to be a good person. So I always took that with me when it comes to team building is, hey, who is consistent? Who is here? Who wants to see me win genuinely? Because you just cannot be friends with anybody that has any kind of form of jealousy or resentment to you. You know what I'm saying? You just can't. And so I always looked at that of who is a person that my success is not going to intimidate and it's not going to trigger. Who is a person that's going to be inspired by how far I go? Who is a person that wants to see me go far, because the farther I go, the farther we are. And I very strategically look at people's integrity and their moral compass and how they're made as a human being before I invite them to be a part of this movement.
That is very smart and a wise choice. It's always integrity and loyalty over everything. And I always seen that in you. I've seen that, you work very hard at what you do and you don't want to, you want the ship to keep going, not the ship to sink. Because all it takes is one little leak and that whole boat could just go under ocean. So I want to commend you on that as well. Secondly, I did wanted to ask you, so for all the ladies out there, just in case if you're wondering, I'm about to get to one of them questions. I am. Are you single? And if you are, what is your ideal situation? I wouldn't say woman because a lot of people are crazy to think that there's a perfect somebody, but what is the ideal situation that you would like to be in place with an individual that will pique your interest?
Believe that a man until he's married is single. So if that's the case, then I am single because I'm married. My ideal situation is to be with a woman that do not have to lie to, a woman that I can tell the truth, and she is going to respect and appreciate the fact that I told her the truth, whether she likes it or agrees with it or not. Because a lot of times I see women that say they want the truth, but they want what they want to hear. Like if I say that I'm non-monogamous and not being honest with you, and you start moving different, or you start treating me different, or you're stepping back, well, then you're basically telling me that you would rather me lie. And so I think that's the main reason why I'm not married yet, because of the fact that I haven't found a woman that I can be totally forthright and honest with. Because at the end of the day, why would I marry someone that I have to lie to? Why would I marry someone that I have to create a false narrative in order for them to stay? And so when I do find that woman that is capable of handling the truth that she asks without resentment, without punishment, without negativity, then I'll be very real. And so, that takes some time, because at the end of the day, I want to be 100% honest with my partner.
Right.
It makes no sense. I can tell my bros everything. They don't judge me. You know what I'm saying? Men have side chicks. They can tell them everything. They don't judge them. But as soon as you get to a point where a woman has a title and she's in a certain position, now all of a sudden we have to watch what we say, or we have to tell her what she wants to hear. I'm not signing up for that, because I'd rather a woman love me for, I don't want a woman to love me for who I'm not. I'd rather her for not disliking who and love me for who I'm not. And so, once that is able and emotionally intelligent enough to take the truth and respect it and receive it as a gift, receive the fact that I'm being vulnerable and transparent to her as a gift, and she's not going to put it in a gun and shoot it back at me and use it as a weapon, then I'll be married real quick.
That is crazy, because I've had so many conversations with other men that have that same idea. Well, not the truthful part, because you're probably one of a few men that I hear speak like how you speak, and other women should respect and value that. Because men say, "Oh no, I'm lying to the end, to my grave. I don't care. I'm going to be with a woman, marry a woman, and I'm still going to lie." I love the fact that you said, "I just want someone, pretty much my best friend. If I can tell you everything." The thing that used to get me when I was dating was that everybody that I chose, precision of language, every person that I chose, and I actually called you one time when I had a bad situation, and you was like, "Ray, you deserve better." And I was like, "You're right." But when I was choosing the wrong ones, the main arguments used to be that one thing. I'm okay if you tell me the truth. And I don't get why other women, like I hear and I see what you guys go through. I can't understand, because I don't think like they do. But the majority of women do think that. I want you to tell me the truth, but as soon as you tell me the truth, I'm going to hold it into my holster in my gun, and I'm going to fire it back at you. I've never been that type of person. It kind of makes me sick to my stomach, and I see why I didn't have female friends and why I stayed to my own corner, because the idealism of what other females have, we do not align. So I can't have female friends. I have a lot of frenemies where they all wanted to be my friend, but they hated me, and I couldn't understand it. But one thing I used to see all the time, I want a man to tell me the truth. I used to have bad relationships where I had a man that lied to me, and all I wanted was someone transparency. Just tell me the truth. If this is what you want, and that was one of my biggest fights. If this is what you want, just tell me that from jump. You see all these memes, they make jokes and reels about it. Oh, if the person told you what they wanted during the first date, if they told you what they wanted, like you said last night during your podcast, if I told you what I wanted, what would be the percentage of you actually following through? If I told you that right now, what's the percentage? And that girl said 0. So I'm going to lie to you. I'm going to lie to you. But if we're husband and wife, there is no line. There should be equally yoked as it speaks of. It should be that way. It should be that me and you are flesh, blood of blood. We're one in another. Like, there is no separation. And until you get that, I understand. I agree with you. I would stay far away from these other situations because you hear horror stories. You hear where the women do crazy things and the situation end up bad because the person is sitting here lying. And then what happens when a lie comes in? You might end up having a crazy person at the end of the day.
Right.
I'd rather tell you the truth and hurt your feelings now than deal with your insanity later.
Yeah, because, that breeds toxicity because now the person is emotionally invested. And now they feel like, after you've told them what they wanted to hear, they basically told you to lie to them. And after they realize that, it is a lie, now they have a certain form of resentment. They want some revenge and they want to do crazy things. And so, where I'm going in my life, I just don't have time nor the energy or capacity to deal with that because I've worked too hard to obtain. And I'd be damned if someone that didn't help me get there, didn't help me build it, tears it down. And so you got to be very watchful and careful about who you choose to bring into that circle because that's the person that can really hurt you. It's not the people on the outside. Hey, the son of ops, we know them. They're right in front of us. We can see them coming. But the person that's supposed to be behind you can easily stab you in the back without you knowing and bleed you out. And so that's where you're vulnerable because that's where your trust lies. And a lot of times, men are sleeping with the enemy. They're literally sleeping with their biggest aunt. You know what I'm saying? And she's sweet, she's submissive, and she does all types of freaky shit. And secretly, she wants your demise because of the fact that you're not your truth is not what she wanted to hear. And so then in turn, she compartmentalized that through narcissism, the fact that this man should be what I want him to be or what I perceived him to be. And I think a lot of women make the mistake of not accepting the man for who he is, but who she wants him to become. And when you made a mistake right there, the man told you who he was. This is me. This is what you get. And so
right.
I'm not saying that I can't get better. I'm not saying that I can't improve. Like, I'm not saying that I can't compromise. But what I'm not going to do is change who I am.
Right.
I'm going to change who I am. I can compromise with you. I can work with you so we have a mutual agreement. If both parties bend and nobody breaks, we can meet in the middle. But a lot of women want men to be a whole different creature altogether, and that's not an option. A lot of women want to fuck Superman. And when they get Superman, they want to turn him to Clark Kent. But they didn't realize that Clark Kent was there the whole time. Paid no attention. And she wanted to screw Superman. So now this man realizes him being Superman is what got her. She's saying, now I want you to be Clark Kent. For the female equivalent, it's the fact that, like, the matter is, if I go to a strip club and I see a woman going up a pole, and as soon as I tap in with her and I like her, now I want her to stop stripping. Well, you know exactly what you got when you got it. You know what I'm saying? So, I never understood that. And, if a man would want a woman to stop that, you have to give that woman a better alternative before you want to cut something off. So give me a better alternative than being Superman. But bitch, Clark Kent ain't it. Because you ignored that man you ignored that man at the workplace for years. And then Superman flying around or whatever. Now you're showing love because what? Because he flies in, he comes in, he fucks shit up and leaves, and he's emotionally unavailable. And he's this superhuman thing that everybody and all the other women want. But Clark Kent was right up under your nose the whole time. So you will remain Superman because that's what got you here. If you have an issue with it, you can give me a better alternative. Maybe Batman. I don't know. Maybe Iron Man. But with Clark Kent, it's not going to be
You know why I like Batman? Because he didn't have all those other superpowers, but he had the brain, the smarts, and the longevity, and the ingenuity, and the persistent. He was persistent and consistent in everything that he did, and he researched. And I love that. That's why when everyone runs to a Superman and all that, I'm like, give me the person who's trying to build. No. So the weirdest thing is, I know there's women out there that think like me. I have two. Okay, I have one friend that does. Okay, had to reverse that. Maybe one or two. And we end up choosing the bottom broke dude that we see potential in and end up doing the wrong thing with those people instead of, because that was my choices before, instead of choosing the guys that had the potential and without all the toxic stuff as well. So it's,
Let me give you some game on that.
yes,
Fully
sir.
women, rather than see potential in a man, because we say see potential, I think women should experience potential. And what I mean by that is, it's okay to see, yeah, you can see some potential in a man. But if he's not actively working at it, if he's not actively doing it, if he's not actively inside, you should be able to experience his potential. Be able
Good
to
point.
experience it and come from, $100 guy to $1,000 guy within the vicinity of a couple of months. You should be
True.
able to experience a man that is working towards his purpose and you see him actively moving towards it. A
And
lot
not
of
burning
times
by
women,
selling drugs and pimping hoes either.
right. So you have to experience his potential, seeing a man that is actually working. Because if they can tell you, hey, I got
Yeah.
this, and I'm gonna do this, we gonna do that. But if he's not actively going after it, well then I take that with a grain of salt. If somebody would have met me 10 years ago, it was very easy to see that I was gonna be here or somewhere else.
You're right
Then
about that.
really see like this man is going somewhere. He has some kind of direction and he's not going to stop. And you could see that in me 10 years ago, let alone 20. They knew that, hey, this guy P is going to do something. And so when you're around me, you can experience the potential because of the fact that I never stopped working at it. Versus me just saying, yeah, bro, I'm about to drop a mixtape, and that's been 20 years ago. No, a person can say anything, but seeing, actually experiencing it is believing.
Let me tell you something. You kind of intimidated me. I'm gonna just be a moment of transparency here. All you women too, y'all listen to this. So when I met him years ago, he's saying, okay, 10 years ago, I would, no, in my brain, 10 years ago, 15 years ago, you was already there. You was already Mr. Superstar because I saw the passion and drive. And there's something else about when God touches someone and they have a destiny and they're destined to do something. And when you have that eyesight and that foresight to see that in someone, it can be a little scary. So you probably have women out there that are like me that are like, oh yeah, but then they look at you and they're like, I don't know. I want to hide a little bit. I know that because when I met you, I always felt like you always been big boss. I don't care what you were doing. If you was at the radio station, if you were whatever, but I always saw you as this guy that just was leveled up and there's no coming down. Everything else is going to shoot up. And for people who miss that opportunity, sucks to be y'all. Like it really does. But
Well,
he's still available. Maybe you could circle back in
we
that
never
block.
go backwards. We only go forward.
I'm joking. I'm joking. I'm joking. But
But
I've seen it in you. I don't know why no
yeah,
one else did.
no respect. I think that's part of the journey. A lot of people think that the life is a race. It's not a sprint. It's a long, grueling, gruesome marathon. And you have wins and losses. It kind of looks like the stock market. But if you look at the consistency of that stock and its consistency rising, it may drop down for a little bit, come up, but it's still heading this way. And that's how my life's been. That is the epitome of ugly money, the ups, the downs, the wins, the lessons. You know what I'm saying? Everything between your first dollar and your first million is the money. That's why I took on that moniker. And I think that's one thing that I've always had. I've always had an upslant to whatever I was doing. Little wins, take a step, steps up, might fall down, figure it out, get back up and keep going. But whatever comes down must come up. It's just the evolution of life. And I always understood that like, oh, I may be in a down period right now. That means that but it's my time to prepare for my blessing. It's my
That part.
you know what I'm saying? So that's a great time. Anytime that people are feeling down or they feel like, the things in their life aren't going right, that's your preparation time. That's your preparation time to get all your affairs in order So when it comes back up again, you're already ready to capitalize to the maximum capacity. You know what I'm saying? I think the last time that I had a really big jump up was around 2001. And 2021. And I never forget, I made more money in that 1 year than I made in my whole entire life, but I was prepared for it. I literally spent 2016 to 2020 planning my company, right? And I was sustaining, but I wasn't because I was transitioning from being a rapper, changing into this new person, this new ideology, this new brand. And so that takes a learning curve. So I was taking my licks like a man. I was falling down, brushing my feet, brushing the dirt off. But when 2021 hit and the opportunity met preparation, oh my goodness. I mean, like I said, I made more money in 1 year than I made in my entire life, and I ain't never been a broke nigga. So that was
Never that.
right.
I remember the single you had, "Never Running Out of Money." So when you and yeah, I remember a lot. Okay, "Never Running Out of Money," and then when you came up with "Ugly Money," thank you for giving me that breakdown because you've actually answered so many questions where I haven't had to even ask you certain things because you've already inserted them into your answer when I ask you one thing and then you move forward. Also, you might need to do some motivational speaking for especially the men. I want to do this event or do a thing where like it's a men appreciation type of situation, and I definitely want to add you onto the platform whenever I get that together. But definitely you would be a great motivational speaker because sometimes I just look at your stuff, I'm like, I know we friends and all and everything, but sometimes I look at you like I don't know you and I'm like, you know what, that resonated with me just now. I got that. I needed to hear that today to help me keep pushing forward because we all go through a down period. I just came from Africa. I'm adjusting. I just had surgery. I'm adjusting. I just had a lot happen in the past year. I'm adjusting.
There's so much beauty in the valleys. And given the view from the mountaintop is amazing, but there's so much beauty and there's so much to learn by being in those valleys because that is the time when things slow down. That is the time you can really see, okay, who is for you, is going to join me on this next ascent because everybody can't go, right? And so you have to figure out, like, you'll see people drop off. You're like, man, well, they weren't ready to go with me. You feel what I'm saying? And so I'm always taking the time to just check my trajectory, to check my team, to check my surroundings, to check where I am, what city I'm at during those valley periods and those slow periods, because I can figure out, okay, I'm taking this guy, this one, and this chick, we go. You know what I'm saying? Unfortunately, these three people, they're not going to make it because they're just there for the ride. Cool. Understand. I love you, but I'll see you at the top. And I keep going. And when that ascension happens or whatever, everybody can't go. And I think that's the main thing that people get to understand. Like I have this saying, you don't hate on nobody and you don't wait on nobody. And at no point in time am I prepared to allow anyone to slow up their progress. You feel what I'm saying? If you can't keep up, love you, appreciate you, but respectfully, can't wait.
Correct.
We can move as a team in a collective unit. You may not go as fast as me, but as long as we're keeping a consistent, slant, I'm cool with that. Cool. But if you are dragging the rest of us down, respectfully, you're not going to make this team. It's just like,
Correct.
you feel what I'm saying? It's like, hey man, you know what? You're going to hurt the team more than help the team. When we put you out there, if we start losing, we're up by 10, and as soon as we get out there, you do 3 turnovers and 4 fouls, you're hurting the team. I have to let you go. Because in order for us to get to where we're going, we got to have a strong team.
You got to go. We got to find another starter, another quarterback, somebody who's going to run with the ball and make sure we get across that line because that's the goal. But like I said, I really enjoy just listening and watching you, and you should definitely get into that motivational speaking. We're going to probably work on that. I'm probably nag at you a little bit. See if I can get you to do some speeches like, okay, we have live one in Vegas. Come on with me. But anyway, the last question that I have for you, because I'm not going to hold you too long. So for your recordings and your podcasts and things of that nature, if you can please give the audience what you do currently and how can they get on board with you by following you. And if they're in the city, where can they go to join your live recordings?
Well, I'm a very easy person to work with. I am nearly impossible to work with. I'm a very easy person to work with if you do business with me. It's nearly impossible to work with me if you're not. And I tell people that all the time. I say, I'm a very, very humble spirit. I speak to everyone that speaks to me with some sense, you know what I'm saying? But I am still a businessman. I'm very, very, very shrewd when it comes to that. I know that what I work for has value, and you're going to provide some value for the value that you want from me outside of the value that I'm willing to give for free, which could be words of encouragement, which could be game, which could be knowledge, which could be the things that I post on my Instagram. That's the free value that I'm willing to give for free. Those are and you can learn so much just by listening to it, brother, right?
True.
But it is hell to work with, but I am not free at all. And so, everything's on the Ugly Money Nietzsche page. I'm Ugly Money Nietzsche in every platform, Ugly Money, Niche. Of course, we shoot Trigger Alert every Wednesday. The stream goes live at 8 o'clock, but the doors open up at 7. And our new location is at Club Atmosphere here in Riverdale, Georgia. So you can always come and catch a show live over at Atmosphere on every Wednesday night. The doors open up at 7. The show starts at 8. But you can also catch it live on Ugly Money TV. And, I'm all for collaborating. I am all for working with other people. I am all for, us coming up together. But just don't slow me down. And, I've had that conversation with several brothers. As much as I hold women accountable for some of the things or the mentalities for relationships, I hold men accountable for the same type of things when it comes to business relationships. Because I think somewhere along the line, we kind of lost the mindset that the world owes us something. And I think that a lot of us are suffering from that, where we will literally go ask somebody for something that we know is valuable, and we will not offer them anything for it. Okay. You're asking me to take my time, energy, and effort to pour into you, to work for you, but you don't offer anything in return. That's a handout. And I think that some brothers have misconstrued that. And when I talk to them, I try to be as transparent and honest with them, like, hey, brother, you're a king. You're not a peasant. You're not a beggar. Don't operate as such. I see you as a king. I see you as a young black brother, as a young black businessman, as a future millionaire, future mogul. So don't treat yourself or don't water yourself down as a $2 man. And so, I have those conversations with me because a lot of women always asking, what about the men? What about the men? Man, I am very hard on men when it comes to business, so better men. And I'm accountable with myself as well. You know what I'm saying? They like, man, we're gonna lose that gut, man. I'm at the gym for the past 28 days. I'm 12 pounds down, and I'm on it. And
I
so I
saw
think
those
that
comments too. As your friend, I was like, don't. I'm not a Twitter finger type of person, but there's some moments where I'm like, oh, I'm like, okay, calm down, just Rayvon.
you have to be able to take the good with the bad, and that's something that I've learned. The only thing that scares me is when nobody has nothing to say at all, because I've been that guy. I've been the guy that no one had anything to say because no one cared. That sucks. Whether you have a good comment or a bad comment, it all registers in the algorithm as a comment. And that's when I realized that someone talking negative registered the same way as someone talking positive, then I said, bring them on. Because
Yes, hey,
that's engagement. That's what we're trying to do. We're getting the message out there, and a person has to receive the message to have something good to say or have something bad to say. So I'm beautiful. I'm cool with that. I think that we have to learn as a people to pour our energy into things that are positive. Now, I have 1,000 say great and amazing things under a post. And here's one dickhead that says something stupid. Why would I give that one dickhead my, why would I give him my attention? When I have 1,000 people that are giving me words of information, they're giving me positive feedback, they're giving me, you know what I'm saying? So what I
exactly.
learned to do is the only way that you will truly get my attention is positivity. I'm not going to ignore the good. We ignore the good so much and focus so much on the bad, and we wonder why our mental is in a negative space. No. And you see all these people that are commenting and sharing and loving this. Hey, man, Thank you, brother. Salute to you, my man. Double tap, like. Those are the people that I deal with. Those are the people that I talk to. Those are the people that I speak with. Those are the people that I invest my time, energy, and effort into. I can't invest. Trolls don't get paid. They're working for free.
Exactly.
They're promoting for free. And I tell my trolls, I love them because
Yes.
you are literally promoting me for free of charge and no one's paid you. I really wish I could give you a job, to be totally honest. You know what I'm saying? Because
Number
you
one
can't.
hater on a payroll.
Yeah, good news travels slower than bad news a lot of times, and that's something that I've always understood and kind of used to my advantage. I kind of understand that negativity, by the natural human psyche, negativity, people will feed into it quicker. And so sometimes I use it to my advantage, where I may say certain things that I know is going to get a negative connotation with women. I know it's going to hurt them, but guess what? Just get a message to you. Because when
I
you
peep
you
game
hear him
because
say,
you're a marketing genius at that. I see that.
yeah, so but I appreciate all comments. I appreciate all opinions because I remember a time I was a guy that nobody cared, that nobody listened, nobody watched. My first podcast interview did 47 views, and I promoted it almost. I promoted everything I did, and I did less than 50 views on my first podcast interview, and my second one did 7. And so coming from that, I'm just appreciative of the fact that people watch me every day and people are have an opinion and people are ingesting what I'm putting out for them to have an opinion. It's a very humbling experience because there's so many things people could be doing today. There's so much stuff out there. There's so many content creators, and the internet is a vast place. There's TV, there's radio, and you're taking the time out to tap into me. I'm appreciative of you, good or bad.
Yes, and the algorithm loves you. I know every time I open them, I'm like, okay, 7 videos right now. 8. I'm like, okay, there's superstars right up under you. Sometimes they can't even keep up with you at all. I see ugly money, ugly money, ugly money, ugly money.
Try to post 4 times a day. I try to post 4 times a day. I try to post 4 original pieces of content a day because I realize that social media is the strongest form of promotion and marketing in the world. A person may not listen to the radio a lot. The only time they may listen to the radio when their phone's dead.
Yes,
Listen to iTunes or whatever, or go to YouTube and play. And the fact that, okay, they may not listen to the radio today, and they may not even have time to watch TV today, right? Well, what a person is going to do every day is they're going to open that damn phone. And if
yes,
I'm in that phone when they get there, then I'm winning. That means that you'll have a better relationship with me than somebody that's on TV or somebody that's on the radio or somebody that's on these major platforms. And so I took that and ran with it. And I was like, wow, social media has leveled the playing field where you don't have to play the Hollywood game or the major network game or the major station game. You can literally just know your target audience and talk to them every day. And if they're receptive of it, you got it. And then when I realized that it was completely and totally free to post, it's free. And I said, man, why am I only posting once a month? It's free. I can literally get a new fan every day. I can get a new listener every day. I can get a new
correct.
business deal every day. I can get a new collaboration every day. I can get new followers every day for free. And so I told myself, I'm like, okay, well, I'm posting once a month. What am I'm not saying backwards. I should be doubling down on this. And so I finally got to work myself up to the point where I was posting once a day. And then I was like, and even then I was like, man, he's giving it to us. He's giving it to us. I'm like, well, if I could post once a day, there's 24 hours in a day. Well, I post 2 times a day. And then 2 times made it 3, and 3 made it to 4. And I'm like, okay, is there a limit to how much? Because it's free. It's literally free promotion. It's free engagement. It's a free audience. And while this is a golden age for entrepreneurs and marketers, it's a golden age because we've never been able to access people so freely and so cheap. And it's like, you remember a time where if you wanted to access people, you had to go to the radio station and spend thousands of dollars to access maybe 5,000 people. I could post a story post and hit 5,000 people. for free. And so
That is true.
I wouldn't pay for that.
Look, I'm definitely, write these notes down. Everyone write these notes right down right now. But
Free.
yes, and this is the thing that we as content creators, especially on the lower end, the people who are starting up, it's the confusion of feeling like no one's going to notice you, or it's not a value in your time to post more, or you're putting out too much. Because I have been told that. I think when I first started, and I was doing a couple of times a day, the management that was over me at that time said, no, you're doing too much. Only do this and that. And I said, to me, that doesn't make sense, because I thought like how you thought. It's just out there if I just keep posting. And I stopped it. Had I just kept going with the flow, I would understand what you just said now.
I give some free game to the listeners. You can post multiple times a day. You can post a lot. You just have to space it. You can't post it. You can, but it would not, the algorithm doesn't respond well. If I posted at 3:30 and I post at 3:40 and I post at 3:50 and then 3:51. If I post at 3:30, I'll wait at least an hour. And I'll post at 4:30. I'll probably post at 5. You know what I'm saying? And then maybe I'll post at 7. And then maybe I'll post at, where I try to give at least an hour and a half to 2 hours in between. But goodness gracious, there's still room for 12 posts if you really think about it. And I'm like, think that in this day and age, there used to be a time where artists and creatives needed to be mysterious. It was an allure about an artist. He was so mysterious. That shit's
It's out the door.
what you do. People want to know what you ate for breakfast. People want to know what's your favorite football team. People want to know who's your top 5 rappers. People want to know, what's your take on LeBron James and Drake. People want to know, because a lot of people are living vicariously through you. And I was like, man, there was so much going on in the world, and it's free to access. You know what I'm saying? And then when I realized that me posting 4 times a day didn't hurt me at all, or didn't hurt my algorithm, or it doesn't hurt anything. I just space them around. Hey, this is the beautiful thing about social media. If it doesn't do good, or if you don't like the response, you can click delete.
Yes.
It's totally gone. It makes down a lot, and people can see. My pops here. Shouts out my pop. He's with me every year.
Hi, Pops.
And sometimes he comes to visit me down here in my creative space. But yeah, it just makes all the sense in the world to just totally maximize that whole experience.
So I just want you guys to know that is Lessons with a Boss. I hope you guys understand that when you was on the Orlando Brown, and you were talking back and forth, that he said his little comments, and you said, but I'm a boss, but I'm a boss. And the funny thing is, it wasn't just because the fact that you were saying you were a boss. It's the fact that you actually walk and you exude that. You sit here and you realize that you have a team that depends on you. And if you don't wake up every day and show face and do what you're supposed to do, the ship is going to sink. And you're not going to allow that to happen. So staying proactive and staying productive and doing the things that you need to do, and still being a girl dad, as you always say, and still taking care of your family and doing everything. Again, 100 kudos to you. I definitely value and appreciate what you're putting out there.
I want to weigh in on Orlando too. Orlando is an amazing person. He is a creative genius.
Yes.
Orlando, and I'm still a fan. I think that there is something to be learned about it, because a lot of times us as people will crash out when something negative comes our way, and that's just the nature of life. But how you react to something, it denotes who you are. I allow because there's so many Black men that are in jail right now because they lost control of their emotions and made an emotional decision for a split second. They're spending years of their time. And that's something that I definitely want to make sure that my brothers understand. Like, hey, brother, when a clown makes a joke, you laugh. You don't laugh, you laugh. And so, it was funny because, it was like, yeah, I'm 3 times as big as Little Orlando. If I wanted to do something in Orlando physically, it probably wouldn't have been much of a, it wouldn't have been much of a spectacle. It would have been you know what I'm saying?
I
But
think I would have had to talk to
want
you
it
after that. Like, come here for a second. Come in. Let
right.
me holler at you
But
for a
I
moment.
want people to understand that you don't always have to act with violence or negativity when negativity hits you. Sometimes you can rise above. And at the end of the day, if you truly are walking in your purpose, if you are who you say you are as a boss or whatever, when does a king don't get off his throne to goddamn fight with the peasants?
Not at
Respect,
all.
and not calling him that. But
Yeah.
I just think it was a dope for men to see that it doesn't always have to resort in violence. And at the end of the day, we can smile and move forward from it. And you don't try again.
Yeah. That
There's a
was the point that I did like. You was like, I respect you as who you are. Because, we are fans. We all are fans. We grew up with these people on TV and things like that. I love it that you brought him to your platform and you didn't make him, you didn't belittle him. Because some people do crazy things with him on their interviews and stuff like that. But I loved how you put him on a pedestal and it's like, hey, look, you're great at what you do. But, this is my show.
right.
Respect me and let's keep it moving. And you guys both are kings. He has his thing, he did his thing or whatever, and he has his fandom and all of that, but you're still a king in your own right. But I love how everything turned out. It was a great show. I hate that I wasn't physically there, but I had some
Oh
things I
man, it
had
was
to
great.
take care of.
We're
But
actually dropping the interview this week. I just finished editing.
yay.
Me and Slump, my brother Slump and Stan are finishing up the edits now, and we'll be dropping it this week, and it is, oh my gosh. We
On
got
YouTube, right?
so what?
On YouTube or Ugly Money
Yeah, it'll
Podcast,
be on
correct?
YouTube, and I'll be posting clips. It is can't miss content. I think it's going to shock the world because the things that you had to be there to see it, because the things that he said about Bow Wow, Jay Z,
Wow.
were classics. No man, shout out to Orlando Brown, and shout out to all the content creators. You know what I mean? I have no problem with a person having an opinion because guess what? I got one, and so as long as your opinion doesn't disrespect or demean me and my brand, I'm cool with it. And if
Yeah.
not, and if you do cross that line or you do get close to that line, it does not mean that I crash out and risk everything I built. It just means that let me readjust you right quick. Let me readjust you, and so we can move forward. Because I don't work too hard to crash out. Unless
Okay,
it's
too hard.
unless somebody messing with my kids or messing with my money, I ain't worried about it. I'll laugh that shit off.
Well, you guys heard it first. He is going to drop the episode later on YouTube where you can follow him, which I do. And you make sure you join him on the lives on Wednesday at 8 o'clock Eastern Standard Time because you can actually have your questions asked on live by doing super chats. I joined in on this past Wednesday. I had so much fun. It is such a
Yeah.
great experience to either watch at home on live or to physically be at Atmosphere in Riverdale, Georgia, if you are in town. Is there any last words that you want to give the audience before we go?
We have a fully interactive platform. I totally encourage people to get involved. You can totally interact with me, talk with me. Fully interactive platform where your voice can be heard, your questions can be answered. You can get my opinion on things or whatever. Unfortunately, it's so many people that we do have things like super chats or bonuses and things of that nature, so you can kind of stick out from the crowd. But I'm here for it. I'm welcoming anyone that wants to do business, anyone that wants to take their career to the next level, because I still do a lot of things with artists. China Monet is on tour right now with Johnny Blaze. She's about to
Shout out China.
of her career. I cook, I clean, I shut up. It's one of the biggest records of last year, and it'll be the biggest record this year. And so I'm extremely excited about the way the brand is going. We have some products. I'm gonna drop this on you because I haven't dropped this anywhere. I got my
What
first.
we got?
I got my first product coming. It's fresh out the rack.
You see that is brand new being unraveled
Brand
here.
new
Let me see.
Goliath Phallus Elixir.
Wow.
All natural. And if you want to go Goliath, all you got to do is rub it on, and it make everything hard. You rub it on your arm, it will make your arm. Then,
So it's a
out February,
phallus
so make sure you got to
elixir.
that. And we
I
got
want
a lot.
the
Yeah, so
man
this comes
moves.
out in February. This is our first product. I have used the product. I used the product. It's worked amazing for me. I had the opportunity to meet Dr. Seby's wife.
Wow.
she did a seminar at my studio, and me and some of her people had kept in contact, and we had a chance and opportunity to get some of his recipes and some of his, his elixirs, and we're putting it out. So this is going to
That
be
is
big.
nice.
We're looking forward to it. And
Did you have some assistant with someone putting that on, dropping that on there for you? Did you have a dropper come drop it on there for you?
I'm not married, so I'm a single man. So
So did you have some assistants, and did you test it out?
yeah, I have used it. I do use it. It works extremely well.
You hear
And
that, fellas, ladies?
yeah, it works. It works extremely well. Dream.
I suggest
Yeah.
the women should, when they have their mail made, if they want to do some things, help him, assist him in that area, put some drops on there. Drop it on my birthday too, February the 6th. I feel like that's a great day. And it's a Friday too. February the 6th.
Yeah.
This is the first Friday I get in a long time. I ain't had a Friday in a while. Okay.
We gonna send you a
Silky Friday.
packet.
Yes.
Yeah, we will send you a bundle packet. So no, it definitely works. I mean, this product is amazing, and it's all natural. It's no man-made products. It's no preservatives. Like literally, this is stuff that came out the middle of the freaking jungle.
Wow.
And that is like work. So I am extremely excited with the direction we're going with these products, and I got some products for women coming out shortly thereafter. But I'm gonna get my guys together, and of course the HBM network is coming soon, where we're about to launch our own network, High Value Media Network. That should be out.
That's dope. That is dope.
Because I want to give people a chance and opportunity to monetize their content as well. And realizing that, we love YouTube, I love y'all, but they give us pennies on the penny. And so realizing that, okay, 1 million views on YouTube is like $10,000, but 1 million views on my network is $1 million. And so
That's beautiful.
Here's a chance and opportunity not only for me to get my content out to the masses and solidify my situation, but to give the people's chances and opportunities with their shows to totally monetize themselves at a high rate. So yeah.
That is a great investment into others, investment to a new platform. We see how these platforms are getting tossed out left and right. If there's not an issue, there's a ban, there's something going on. And I'm grateful to hear it first that you're actually going to do all these wonderful things. You have your products.
Is a safe place for men and women that love men. It's a safe place for real men and women that love real men. I call it like a real niggas.
Okay,
it's
I
for
like
real
that.
Niggas. It's for real niggas and women that love real niggas.
Okay, real men.
Yeah,
Men.
whatever you consider them,
Look, we talk loosely like that. I get that, but I do want to give you guys the value you guys deserve because you guys are men. But jokingly, yeah, I'd be like, oh yeah, nigga.
Yeah. It's so fortunate.
Yes.
But yeah,
yes.
No, I'm really excited of that. Products are coming. Of course, the Ugly Money Music Summit is April 5th and the 6th. I'm signing my last artist to a management deal. I have built this platform that can just catapult careers, like the things that I've done with China Monet. I mean, she's probably one of the biggest independent artists without a deal right now, where people know her music. And I'm just so excited about the fact that, this girl hasn't signed anything. This is something that we organically built from the ground. And I look forward to doing that for somebody else's career. So I do a lot of different services for artists where I do song reviews, where I listen to artists' music, give them feedback.
Yes.
In situations where, a person can hire me to manage them. Tons of shows. Actually, I got a show next Thursday at KOD that's about to start. And so we're just all about giving people opportunities. That has never stopped with me. That's the whole ethos of Ugly Money, is to be an asset to others. And so me coming from the hip hop, that musical world, I never lose sight of that and never forget where I came from. So I'm always giving opportunities to artists that are willing to work for it and that are deserving. We're not giving no handouts, but if you're willing to work, if you're willing to invest in you, I will invest in you with time.
That is lovely. I just want to definitely say, with you sticking to your grassroots, finding your passion and turning into a paycheck, that's something that I've watched you do your whole time that I've known you.
Fun. It's fun, Rima.
It is.
You do what you love. You'll never work a day in your life.
Exactly.
Work a day. Since I got out of the military in 2010, I haven't worked a day. It's all been fun. The things that I would do if I had a job, and when I got off that job, I wouldn't do that shit. So the fact that I can do it and it's my job
and get paid.
Every day I wake up and I beat myself when my Cash App pings and my phone rings. And I'm like, this is the best job in the world because this is what I did when I got off work. I did stuff in entertainment, media, marketing. That was my passion. And so I encourage everyone, do what you are passionate about. Because that way you'll never work. It'll never feel like work. It'll never feel taxing. You'd be amazed at how long you can go and how hard you can go because you're enjoying yourself. So I encourage everyone, man, do what you love. Whatever that dream is, do that. No, there's a step-by-step process. I'm not saying quit your job, but the job starts the business. The business funds the dream. And I tell people that as well. Saying, hey, don't quit your job. Use your job to fund your business. Your business will put you in a financial situation where now you can invest in your dream. And that's all I've ever done. The Army invested in my business, a marketing company, and then my marketing company is investing in my dream now. So I'm blessed. Yeah.
Well, I just want to say thank you so much for giving me this time and opportunity to get all of these beautiful gems. You have given me so much free game, and everyone listening and going to watch this, some free game out here, something that you would have to purchase someone 1 hour seminar for $1,500. Right. I got a class for you for a master class for $6,000. You just gave that for free, and you guys have to value that. And if anybody who wants to book or work with him, please, it is so much value in working with this handsome king here that has everything going for himself and does not mind pouring into you.
Too. Y'all don't know that Rayvon is one of my favorite people in the world. She's one of the favorite people in the world. She's an amazing soul, an amazing spirit, and she's an amazing creative. And I think we need more people like you in these spaces that are giving your thought process and your opinions and your viewpoint. And hopefully, it gets contagious and you wake up some hearts and minds around the world as well. So I salute you, Queen. I salute your husband. Love what you guys got going on. I love what you guys are doing. And you're living life. And that's the beauty of it. So salute to you. Definitely give you your flowers. Very proud of you.
Don't make me cry. Don't make me cry. Thank you. But I really appreciate and love you for that. I really do. Because, we got a lot of haters. We do. And sometimes we just need to big each other up. No matter how big we think we are, sometimes it just feels good. It just feels good to hear, hey, you are doing wonderful. Because I see you all the time.
Got haters, you ain't working.
Yeah. But I just wanted to give you your accolades and give you your flowers while you're here. Because I don't want to be doing it later. I want to do it now. But I thank you so much for your time and your energy and the value that you have put into my show today. It's definitely, I'm a little awestruck a little bit, a little starstruck a little bit too, still. But thank you so much. Again, you guys can catch him on YouTube by looking up Ugly Money Nietzsche, Ugly Money Podcast. All of his Instagram and handles are Ugly Money Nietzsche. All of his podcasts is Ugly Money Podcast. You can follow him on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter,
everything's ugly money.
Everything ugly money. You got to say it like this. Hold on.
Yeah.
That ugly money Nietzsche. And it's been a wonderful show. It's been a pleasure. I thank you so much for your time. And I actually would like to do a part 2 later on because I want to talk to you about some more things, but I don't want to take up too much of your time today. You guys catch us again in the future. Again, today was Ugly Money Nietzsche on the Rayvon Unfiltered podcast. And love you guys, and we'll see you later.
Lovers.
Have a wonderful day, and thank you so much for watching Rayvon Unfiltered.